Hey everyone, it's Lauren. Um, I'm making a rather quick video this week as I think I'm getting sick and my throat is really sore and dry. So I don't want to make it worse by talking for too long. But so here's a quick update. And by the way, yes, I am filming this on my new phone, so I don't know how this is gonna look or turn out, but I'm just trying it because I'm in a hurry. My dad wants to do something with me, and I'm also extremely tired. So recently, things at school had gotten worse, and then just this week, like 2 days ago, things started to look up for school. So I feel much better about that. I feel confident in my ability to graduate on time now. Um, yeah, so that makes me feel better about myself. Um, but my health has not been doing well. I have been having a lot of trouble with my spine. I have two herniated discs in my back, one in my neck and one in my low back. Um, I can't remember exactly which ones they are right now. But yeah, um, and I thought I was having knee pain, like just separately from the back pain, and I was like, wow, this is really weird. I'm having knee pain on the same knee that my mom just had surgery for. Her meniscus was torn, and I could swear that's what it was because it was so painful that I could not move. Like, if I moved the slightest bit, it would just send off all these shooting pain signals, and like, I'd almost pass out. It hurt so bad. Um, so we got an MRI and it didn't show anything. So, where the disc is in my low back, um, is an area that can cause problem with your knees and stuff, and both of my knees have actually been hurting. But the left one has been the one that I got the MRI for. But yeah, so thanks back. So I'm gonna see a specialist? Is that a word? Oh my god, I'm so sorry. My brain has not been functioning, which is another point for another time. But someone who specializes in this, yeah, specialist. That's a word. Yeah. Okay. Just trying to think things over in my head right now. Um, and hopefully they're gonna figure out something to do. Like, there's special physical therapy that you can do. You can get injections. You can do other stuff like that. I doubt they'll consider doing surgery at this age because I'm so young, and what they do is they um, pretty much weld the discs in that area together because it's bulging and coming out against the nerve, so it just holds it in place. But then it's like welded there, and there's nothing you can do about it. But I'm thinking, like, hey, isn't there a way they can just take out the disc that's being a problem and put something else in that could replace the disc? I mean, it's almost 2014. Surely we have other ways to deal with disc bulging and disc herniations by now. Yeah, so that's where I'm at with that. And my back has been in so much pain in my neck, but particularly my back last night. I could not stand up straight. And so I was like bent over, and my mom was putting like my pain cream and biofreeze on the painful spot in my back, and that just wasn't doing anything. And I took a bunch of pills and it didn't help. So I literally had to crawl my way across the house because I could not stand up straight. Um, yeah, just, 17-year-old girl crawling around the house like a creep. Yeah, that wasn't fun. So I really hope something gets figured out soon because I'm tired of this. Like, it's so debilitating. what am I supposed to do when that happens? Especially if I'm like not at home, at school or eventually college. If this problem persists, I mean, I'll just have to like lay on the floor and hope somebody passes me by at some point to like come to my rescue or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's been going on. Brain fog has been extremely bad. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's brain fog. Do you see what I mean? Brain fog. But I've been having a lot of like mental issues in terms of sometimes I can't speak right, like words come out wrong all the time, and I sometimes I just say something that doesn't make any sense to me or anyone else, and that's made stuff really hard to work on, and communicating is a little awkward sometimes. Sometimes I have to like repeat the same word over and over and over until like nobody wants to listen to me anymore. So, yeah, that's been interesting. Let's see. Um, yeah, so the alt school is. Anyways, let me back up a bit. I'm just talking like you guys know the whole situation. But, like I said, school's getting better. We had the IEP meeting to get me special education, special education for me because I qualify for other health impairments section of it. Um, and so a thing that comes along with this is in this alternative school, which is technically for like kids with IEPs, but that aren't as smart or bad behaved. Some of them are stuff like that. Um, but I'm taking about half, 3/4 of my classes through that now, and I'll explain why that's easier for me. I mean, I'm still doing global, which is the charter school that's part of Kettle Moraine that I go to, and um, yeah, so I'm technically going to two schools. Well, three right now because there's the Kettle Moraine Normal High School, which is called Legacy. Um, and I'm going to KM Global as well. And now I'm going to this alternative school for some of my classes. For that, I don't have to show up because that's not the only school I'm doing. If that was, then I'd have to be there for 90% of the time. And what I'm doing is meeting with the person I'm talking to um like once every 2 weeks, and I'm giving her these rather largish um workbooks that she gave me, like two at a time. And right now I'm taking English. Well, I'm not, second semester I'm going to be doing English and stuff, but right now she gave me like US history book and a physical science book. And also, I guess this counts as English, obviously, because it's reading. But I was like, well, she initiated it. She said, so we just finished reading Uglies, and then we did like, I had a question of like, a paper of like 20 questions. Please excuse my ability to not make sense right now, but anyways, yeah, so there was like a pack and they had to answer questions about the book, and then she said, I said, yeah, I read that one and I read the other two. I've read the whole series. There's four, isn't there? There's definitely four. No, there's dead. Oh my god. I am just screwing this up so much. I'm trying to think, isn't it Uglies, Pretties, Specials, Extras? I'm going with four. I'm going with four, but I've read the whole series. Um, and then she said, "Oh, well, have you read Twilight?" And I'm like, "Yes, I read all the Twilight." And excuse me, I read the Twilight far, far before the movies came out. So, um, yeah, I didn't really care for the movies. but I thought the books were alright. At the time, I was like in 6th grade or something. So, yeah. And so I read those, and she's like, I'm out of ideas. But then I offered I could do Lord of the Rings because I'm obsessed with Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit and all that kind of stuff by J.R.R. Tolkien. And because he's a freaking mastermind, he's just, oh my god, he's a legend. Um, but I've read The Hobbit, but I've not had the chance to read all 3 Lord of the Rings books. I started the first one, and then just other things came up, like I had to read a different book, or I had to work on different stuff for school. So, yeah, I recommended that. And then I thought to myself, hey, I am obsessed with Game of Thrones, and by Game of Thrones I mean A Song of Ice and Fire, which is the actual series. And there's 5 books out right now, and there's supposed to be 7. And I read the first one, which is Game of Thrones, and I'm on the second one. And I am like a quarter of the way through, but it's like 800, 900 pages because it's intense. But yeah, so I said, oh, I can read that. And she said that would work, and usually she'd give like a quarter of a credit, but since this book is so long, she said she wouldn't feel like I'd have cheated her by getting a half credit of English. So I can get a half credit of English for reading that, and then like at the end of each chapter just record my thoughts or my feelings or what happened in that section. And I'm like, oh yes, I finally have a reason and a purpose to read Game of Thrones, because otherwise I'd feel really bad about reading it like, oh, I should be doing this or I should be doing that. But nope, I have an excuse to read for hours on end now. What do you know? So, yeah, I just had the meeting with that lady today. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy. Um, just wish I wasn't. I swear I'm getting sick with like a little cold, and that's not okay. That's definitely not okay because if I am, it's like the freaking plague for me. Just no one else shares my plague. It's just the Lauren plague of doom. So, yeah, I just get really sick when I get the slightest thing. So, hoping I won't get anything worse over winter. Oh, that brings me to another subject. It's like winter now, right? I don't know if it's officially winter. I would assume it is. I don't really pay attention to that kind of stuff, obviously. But yeah, it snowed already. I'm not happy. I literally was so convinced that I was asleep because I had convinced myself that I was dreaming because I hate the snow that much that I said, oh my gosh, this isn't real, lol, this is a dream. But it wasn't. And it was a little warmer today, but it was like 27 degrees the other day, degrees Fahrenheit. And like, winter's hardly started, so it gets really, really cold here. And I don't know what it's like for you guys, but winter is a pain in the butt. I hate it. There's snow, you have to shovel, you have to like freaking shovel your driveway, except we have a tractor with a lifty thing on it, so my dad can plow the driveway. You gotta get snow tires. My dad wants to get me snow tires because my tires that I have aren't good on my car because I have my own car and we bought it from a used place, and oh my god, it's in phenomenal condition. You couldn't tell that this car came from 2001. It's like the person never drove it. Beautiful, even smelled like a new car. Oh my god, it's perfect. I love my car. His name is Tony. And that's because he's a red car and it's a sports car technically. It's the Mazda Protege 5. I want to say it's the 5th. And it's an automatic and it's got a sunroof and it's, oh my gosh, I named him Tony because Tony Stark, Iron Man, but Iron Man means lots of things. It can mean the superhero, it means one of those triathlons or marathons or whatever, and it also means red car. So, how fitting. But anyways, I got severely